Hello everyone, welcome to Hina's Educate. Today we would be learning the topic substituting into expressions, that is exercise 2.1. So before starting off with this topic, I would give you a quick recap of integers and the way I have taught my students on how to do integers. Okay, so this is like an easy trick for you to understand to get all the sums of integers right. Okay, so in order to solve integers, I always tell my students to follow this three-step process. The first one is consecutive signs, the next one is operation, and the third step is to understand which sign to put. Okay, so whenever you're adding and subtracting integers, you will first look out for step one, that is the consecutive signs. If there are two consecutive signs, meaning back-to-back signs, let's say you have a plus and a plus, you will write a plus. If you have minus and minus, you will write a plus. If you have plus and minus, you will write a minus. And if you have a minus and plus, you will write minus. So you must have seen sums that says 3 plus plus 2. So whenever it is 3 plus plus 2, what do you write? 3 plus 2, which is nothing but 5. Let's say you have another one that is 3 minus minus 2. So whenever you have two consecutive signs, right, that is minus and minus. So what do? You will write 3 plus 2 because consecutive signs minus minus, you will write a plus. Let's say you have 3 plus minus 2. So now you have consecutive signs that is plus and minus. So for plus and minus, what will you write? You will write a minus. So you will write 3 minus 2, which is 1. Okay. Let's go for the next one, that is 3 minus plus 2. So again, you have 3 minus and plus. So minus and plus consecutive signs. So you will write 3 minus 2, which is 1. Okay, that's step one, consecutive signs. Now let's move on to the next one about operations. Now, after doing the consecutive sign, you will move on to the second step, that is operation. That is, whenever you see same signs, you're going to add. And if you see different signs, you are going to subtract. Okay, as easy as that. Now, the third thing that you will have to remember is sign. The sign should always be of the greater number. Okay, three-step rule. I always call is this as the cos rule. Cos C stands for the consecutive signs, O stands for the operation, and the S stands for sign. So consecutive plus plus plus, minus minus plus, plus minus minus, minus plus minus. Operation, whenever you see same signs, you're going to add. Whenever you see different signs, you're going to subtract. The third step is the sign. The sign should always be of the greater number. Okay, that was about addition and subtraction. Now let's move forward about multiplication and division. Okay, so when I talk about multiplication and division, again, the first thing is you're going to talk about the operation. Okay, operation meaning you're just going to look at the numbers. Okay, you're not going to see what signs do they have. Okay, you're just going to think about the numbers. 3 into 2 is going to give you a 6. I am least bothered whether there is a minus there or whether a plus. I don't care. Okay, I am only concerned about the numbers here. If it is 3 into 2, I will write 6. If it is minus 3 into minus 2, first thing I will write a 6 and I'll then proceed to the sides. Okay, so the first thing I will perform the operation of multiplication or division. Now is the second step. My second step is now to think of the sign. Okay, so what will I do? If I see 2 plus plus, so it is going to be plus into plus, I'll write a plus. Okay, if it is minus into minus, I will write a plus. If it is plus into minus, I will write a minus. And if it is minus into plus, I will write a minus. Now, to bring everything into perspective, this one thing, keep it in mind. First do the operation, followed by same signs, put plus. If you see different signs, you are going to put a minus. Isn't that easy? Let's get started with the sums. We have to find the value of each expressions when x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 5. So we just have to substitute here. X in place of x, what will you write? 3. Minus, there is no sign in between. So whenever there is no sign in between, there is a hidden sign, which is the multiplication sign. It is 2 into the value of y is 5. So it is 3 minus 2 into 5. Remember the BODMAS rule, BODMAS, wherein division or multiplication, whichever comes first, Very, very important. Division or multiplication, whichever comes first. Similarly, addition or subtraction, whichever comes first. Okay. Now, first thing we have to first see, you have multiplication here, right? It is D or M. So we have multiplication. So I will solve 3 minus 2 into 5, that is 10. And 3 minus 10 is minus 7. If you remember the rules that we've done, you have 1 plus here, okay, plus 3 minus 10. You have different signs. Here we do not have consecutive signs, we directly have different signs. So for different signs, what do we have to do? We have to subtract. I will simply subtract. Subtract 10 and 3. What do you get the answer? The 7, right? After getting the answer 7, what do we have to do? You have to put the sign of the greater number, which is minus. So 10 is the greater number here, so you will write minus 7. Let's move on to the next one. It is x cube plus xy. What is the value of x here? It is 3. So it's going to be 3 cube plus x into y, okay, or x multiplied by y. So x is 3 into y, which is 5. Again, BODMAS, D or M, whichever comes first. So in this case, we have multiplication. So I will write 3 cube plus 15. I can just write this. 3 cube is nothing but 27. So 27 plus 15, 42 is your answer. Let's go for the next one. You have y square minus 10x upon y. So y square is nothing but 5 square minus 10. There is no sign in between. There is multiplication sign here. So 10 into 3 upon 5. 5 square is nothing but 25 minus 10 into 3. It gives you a 30 upon 5. Now see. You cannot do anything apart from D or M, right? So division or multiplication, whichever comes first. So you multiplied this and now you have to divide this and then you will have to subtract. So you have 25 minus 5 ones are 5 6 are 30. So 25 minus 6. So if you subtract, for the ones who are not used to subtracting, here 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That gives you a 9 and a 1. Your answer is 19. Okay. Next. You have when A is equal to minus 2, B is 3 and C is minus 4. So in place of B, what will I write? A 3. Plus in place of D, what do I write? Oh, I forgot to write the value of D here. The value for D is 6. Yeah. So B, that is 3 plus 6. Easy sum. 3 plus 6 gives you a 9. Let's go for the next one. A plus 2B. In place of A, I am going to write a minus 2 plus 2 multiplied by B, which is 3. Right? There's no sign, meaning there's a multiplication sign here. Again, BODMAS. D or M, whichever comes first. In this place, we have multiplication. So I'll first go for that. I will do minus 2 plus 2 into 3. That gives me a 6. Now look at this one. You have minus 2 and plus. You have different signs. Whenever you have different signs, what do? You have to subtract. So if I subtract this, I get a 4. Right? And I will put a sign of the greater number, which is plus. So your answer is positive 4 or just simply 4. You can just write a 4. Let's go for the next one. 2 multiplied by D. So 2 into D, which is 2 multiplied by 6 minus, what's the value for B here? 3. BODMAS, division or multiplication. I'll go for multiplication. 2 into 6 gives me a 12. 12 minus 3, that gives you a 9. Your answer is 9. Next. 4 into B. What's the value for B? 3 plus 2 into A. What's the value for A? Minus 2. Now look at this. You have term 1, you have term 2, right? I will first get the multiplication in place. So 4 3s are 12. I'll keep the positive sign, the plus sign as it is. Now 2 into minus 2. What do you get 2 into minus 2 if you remember? 2 into 2. I told you, first thing we are always going to multiply the numbers and then we will look out for the sign. So 2 into 2 gives you a 4, right? Now, this has a plus sign and this has a minus sign. If you remember, same signs, you just put a plus, you have different signs, you're going to put a subtraction, the minus sign. Now, do we see a consecutive sign here? The answer is yes. So, for plus and minus, what do we write? A minus. So, you have 12 minus 4, your answer is 8. Again, B multiplied by D. So if I do B multiplied by D, I have 3 multiplied by 6 minus 10. 3 multiplied by 6 gives me 18 minus 10, and 18 minus 10 is nothing but 8. So your answer is 8. Let's go for the next one. It is D square plus AB. What is D square? 6 square plus A multiplied by B. What is A multiplied by D? Minus 2 multiplied by 3. Okay. Please be very careful. Do not do 36 plus minus 2 into 3. Here you are not going to do 36 minus 2 first. Remember the rule for bod mass. Okay, it will be minus 2 into 3 first. So if it is 36 plus 3 twos are 6, positive, negative, plus and minus will give you minus. Now, you have consecutive signs. So 36 minus 6, 36 minus 6 gives you a 30. Answer is 30. Let's move on to the next one. It is D upon 2 minus A. The value for D is 6 upon 2 minus A. And the value for A is minus 2. BODMAS, we have a division here. So I'll first solve that. 2 ones are 2 threes are 6. So you have 3 minus minus 2. Now you have consecutive sign. So I will have 3 plus 2 here. And 3 plus 2 is nothing but 5. Let's move on to the next one. 20 plus B cube. Now what is B cube? B cube is 3 cube. So 20 plus 27, that gives you a 47. So that's your answer. Next, you have AB plus CD. So A is minus 2 into 3 plus C is minus 4 into 6. Again, multiplication first. So I will solve this. 3 twos are gives me a 6. This is minus, this is a positive. Different signs, so I'm going to put a minus sign. Plus, again, 6 fours are 24. And here what do you have? Minus and positive, right? Minus and plus. So I'll put a minus. Again, we have a consecutive sign. So I'll write minus 6. Plus and minus gives you a minus and 24. Do you have same signs or different signs? We have same signs. So for same signs, what do? You add. So if I add 6 plus 24 gives me a 30, and you put the sign of the greater number, which is 24, and the sign of the greater number is minus. So your answer is minus 30. Let's move on to the next one. BC upon D plus A. So it is B, which is 3 into minus 4 upon D, which is 6 plus minus 2. What will we do here? 3 into minus 4. 3 into minus 4 is minus 12, because 4 threes are 12. I'm not thinking about the sign. And plus and minus gives me a minus upon 6 plus minus 2. Now, 6 ones are 6 twos are 12. So you have minus 2 plus minus 2. Do we have consecutive signs here? The answer is yes. So I'll first do that. Minus 2, minus 2. Next, you have same signs or do you have different signs? We have same signs here. So whenever we have same signs, what will you do? You have to add. So 2 and 2 gives you a 4. And sign of the greater number, you will be like, ma'am, there's no greater number here because both of them are 2. So I will just write a minus. So your final answer is minus 4. Now let's move on to the next sum. It says work out the value of each expression when x is equal to minus 3 and y is equal to minus 2. Your first expression here is x square plus xy, and b is y cube minus 6x upon y. Now, x square. which is minus 3 square plus x into y, which is minus 3 into minus 2. Minus 3 square. Do you understand this? Like whenever you have minus 3 square, you're multiplying minus 3 two times, right? Which is minus 3 into minus 3. Plus, look at this term. 3 into 2 gives you a 6. And minus into minus gives you a positive number, right? A plus sign. Now again, 3 into 3 gives you a 9. And minus into minus gives you positive. So you have positive 9 consecutive sign plus and plus, that gives you a plus 6, and 9 plus 6 gives you 15. So your final answer is 15. Let's move on to this one. You have y cube, which is minus 2 cube minus 6 into minus 3 upon minus 2. Look at this one. It is minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2. So 2 into 2, that gives you a 4. Okay, so minus into minus will give you a positive 4, right? Into minus 2. So 4 into 2 gives you what? 8, and plus and minus gives you minus, right? Let's move on to this one now. 6 threes gives you 18. Just look at this part. Okay, 6 threes is 18. And you have positive 6 and negative. So plus and minus gives you a minus. Okay, upon you have a minus 2. Now look at this one. I can do 2 ones and 2 nines are 18. If you remember, minus divided by minus will give you a positive 9. So you have, from this part of the sum, you have minus 8. Then this minus sign is getting carried forward. So I'll write a minus here. And here you get a positive 9. Okay. You have minus 8, and minus and plus consecutive sign gives you minus, and then a 9. You have same signs. So for same signs, you are going to add, and you're going to put the sign of the greater number, which is minus. I hope the sums are easy for you all. Let's move on to the next one. You have m is equal to 2 and p is equal to minus 4. 4 bracket m plus 2p. Now, if you remember, I told you if there is no sign which is present here, meaning you have to assume that there is a multiplication sign. Okay. And if you remember BODMAS, the B stands for brackets. So anything that's there in the bracket, you will first solve that and then you will proceed to the things which are outside the bracket. So I will first start off with this. I'll just keep this 4 multiplied by. I am really concerned only about the brackets here. In place of m, I'm going to write a 2 plus 2 multiplied by minus 4. BODM. D and M, whichever comes first. In this case, we have multiplication, so we first have to solve that. So 4 multiplied by 2 plus. See, I'm just concerned about where the multiplication sign is. Now, you have 2 into 4. 2 into 4 gives you 8. This is positive. This is negative. So, plus and minus gives you minus. Still keeping the bracket on. Again, 4 multiplied by consecutive signs. Plus and minus gives you a minus. So, 2 minus 8. Again, this is positive. This is negative. 4 into. Whenever you have different signs, what do? You have to subtract, right? 4, so if you subtract 2 and 8, what do you get? You get a 6, and then you put the sign of the greater number, which is 8, and the sign of the greater number is minus. Now you have 4 into minus 6. Again, do not look at the positive and the negative or the plus and the minus. Simply be concerned with the numbers. 4 into 6 gives you how much? 24, and different signs you're going to subtract. So your answer is minus 24. Let's move on to the next sum, where in the B part, it's p cube minus 3mp. Now p cube, which is minus 4 cube minus 3. See, there are no signs in between, meaning there are multiplication signs. So 3 into 2 into minus 4, right? Now, minus 4 into minus 4 into minus 4. Remember, whenever in the power you have an odd number, you will always get negative. Okay? And if you have an even number, it is going to be positive. So it is minus 4 into minus 4 into minus 4. So 4 into 4 into 4, that gives me a 64. So I will write 64. And this minus is nothing but minus into minus into minus. So there are three minus, right? So we have an odd number of minus. So what will we write? We are going to write a negative there. Are you understanding that? Next, you have the minus as it is. Now, let us look at this. 4 twos are 8, okay, and 8 threes are is 24, right? So positive, positive, positive into positive gives you a positive, and positive into a negative will give you a negative. So I will write a negative here. Minus 64, consecutive signs, add, and then you will write a 24. Different signs, what will you do? Subtract. So 64 minus 24. See, I'm least bothered about what signs to put. I'm just thinking about the COS method. I did the consecutive, then I did the operation. Operation, what's the operation? Because I see different signs, I have to subtract, right? So this is going to be 40, right? And my third step, the COS, the S says about the sign. The sign should always be of the greater number, which is minus, right? 64 is a greater number, so I will put minus. So that's the B sum. Let's move on to the C sum now, which is P upon M raised to 5 plus P cube. Okay. Now, when I talk about P upon M, what is P here? Minus 4 upon 2 raised to 5 plus P is minus 4 cube. Can I easily divide this first? Can I say 2 ones are 2 twos are? Yes, I can. So I can say minus 2 raised to 5 plus, now minus 4 into minus 4 into minus 4. That gives you a minus 64, right? Odd number. So minus 64. Now minus 2 into minus 2, minus 2 into minus 2. So what do you get here? You get a 32. Now you have odd numbers of minus, right? Minus into minus into minus into minus into minus. 5 is an odd number. So what will I write? A minus sign. Had it been 6 there, I would have written a positive 32. Had it been 7, I would have written minus 32. Okay, sorry, not 32, whatever, when you add 2's. Okay, so it's going to be that number, that value, and then the minus sign had it been the odd number. Okay, had it been an even number, you would have written a plus sign. Okay, so minus 32 plus minus 64. Now, consecutive signs, you have minus 32 minus 64. You see same signs? So for same signs, what do you have to do? You have to add, right? So you have, sorry, 96. Now after this, you have to put the sign of the greater number. So 64 being the greater number, you're going to put the minus sign here. Let's move on to some more sums. You have W is equal to 5, X is equal to 2, Y is equal to minus 8, and Z or Z is equal to minus 1. The first one, 3 bracket W plus X. I'll keep the 3 as it is. In the bracket, I have to write W, which is 5 plus 2, right? So I have 3. There's no sign in between, so it is a multiplication sign. So 5 plus 2 gives you a 7. So it is 3 into 7, that gives you a 21. Let's proceed to the next one. You have X bracket 2W minus Y. So X is 2. In bracket, you have 2 multiplied by W, which is 5. minus, and in place of y, what do we write? A minus 8. So it's going to be 2 bracket, 2 5s are 10, minus and minus. So if you remember consecutive signs, minus and minus gives you a plus and 8. 2 bracket, 10 plus 8 gives you 18. There's no sign in between, meaning there's a multiplication sign, and 2 into 18 gives you a 36. Let's proceed to the next one. It is 3w minus z cube. So 3 into 5 minus the z, which is minus 1 cube. Okay. Now 3 into 5 gives you 15 minus. Now think of this. Minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. 1 into 1 into 1 gives you a 1. And minus into minus into minus. Odd numbers. So you will get a minus again. Okay. Now consecutive signs. So 15 plus 1, that gives you a 16. So your final answer is 16. Let's move on to the next one. You have 2x the whole cube. Now you will write 2 into, what is the value for x? The value for x is 2. So 2 into 2 in bracket the whole cube. Now what is 2 into 2? It's 4. So it's going to be 4 cube. So 4 into 4 into 4, it gives you 64. Let's move on to the next one. X square plus y square. What's the value for x? It's 2 square plus minus 8 square. 2 square is 4 plus. Now 8 into 8 gives you what? 64. Right? 8 into 8 is 64. And now you have even number here. So minus into minus, that gives you a plus. So it's going to be a positive 64. Now 4 plus 64, that gives you a 68. That's your answer. Let's move on to the next one. You have wx upon z plus y. So the value for w is 5 into x, which is 2, upon z, which is minus 1, plus bracket minus 8. You can skip the bracket, no problem. Okay. 5 twos is 10. 10 upon minus 1 plus minus 8. Now, if you see this, there's a positive 10 upon a negative 1. So 10 divided by 1 gives you a 10. Okay. Now, plus and minus. Plus divided by minus. Remember, same signs you add at different signs, you will actually put this minus sign. So it's going to be a minus 10. Now, you have plus and minus. Plus and minus, you're going to put minus and 8. Now, same signs, you have to add. So 10 and 8, when you add, you get a 18. And then what you do? Sign of the greater number, which is 10. The sign of the greater number is minus. So answer will be negative 18. Let's move on to the next one. It's 2 bracket x cube minus z cube. Sorry, z square. So 2 bracket, your x cube is your 2 cube minus 1 square. Okay. So 2 bracket, 2 into 2 into 2, that gives you 8 minus, now again, 1 minus 1 square. So 1 into 1 gives you 1, and minus into minus is going to give you positive. So you have 2 bracket 8. You have plus and minus consecutive signs, so I'll put a minus 1. That is 2 and 7. 2 into 7 gives you a 14. So your answer is 14. Let's move on to the next sum. You have 25 minus 2w square. Now, 25 minus 2 into 5 square. 25 minus 2 into 25. Please do not subtract first. BODMAS. Division or multiplication. Operation would be either division or multiplication first. So you have a multiplication here. So I'll do 25 minus 25 into 2 gives you a 50. Same signs or different signs? The answer is different signs. So for different signs, what do you have to do? You have to subtract. So once you subtract, you get a 25 and you put sign of the greater number, which is minus. Answer is minus 25. The I one now, you have W plus Z 2x minus y. Now the value for W is 5 plus the value for Z is minus 1 bracket. You have 2 multiplied by 2 minus minus 8. It's not difficult, don't worry. Okay, so I'll just understand. This W is one term. Second, okay, yeah. Right. This is the first term and this is the other term, like this. Okay, so we will keep the plus as is so that to avoid any confusion. Okay, 5 plus, you have a minus 1 in bracket. Always do the multiplication first. So 2 into 2 gives you 4 minus minus 8. You have 5 plus minus 1 bracket. You have 4 plus 8. 5 plus minus 1. 4 plus 8 gives you 12. 5 plus, now look at this. This is the term, right? I'm keeping the 5 as is. And this is the term that we are solving to avoid any form of confusion. Now minus 1 into 12. Minus 1 into 12. 12 into 1 gives you a 12. And minus into plus, what will it give you? Minus. Now consecutive signs. 5 minus 12. Your answer is minus 7. Let's move on to the next one. You have 3z raised to 4 minus z raised to 7. So it is 3 into minus 1 raised to 4 minus minus 1 raised to 7. Very easy sum. 3 into 1 gives you 3 and positive into negative will give you a negative raised to 4 minus, now 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 7 times, right? So basically you're just going to get a 1. Now raised to 7, 7 is an odd number. So what will you write? A minus 7. A minus 1, sorry. It is going to be a minus 1. Now, similarly, 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. 3 into 3, 9. 9 3 is a 20, 9 3 is a 27 and 27 into 3. That's 81. So I will write 81. But it's minus into minus into minus into minus. You have 4 minus, which is even. So you're going to write a positive 1. So positive 81 minus minus 1. So positive 81 plus 1, which is 82. In this question, we have to prove that these statements are not true. Okay. They are saying in the sum that x should not be equal to 0 and y should not be equal to 0. So what do we have to do? We have to assume any value for x and y, wherein, okay, we are trying to say that the x should not be equal to 0 and y should not be equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 is okay, x is equal to 2 is okay, x is equal to 3 is okay, x is equal to 4 is okay. Similarly, y is equal to 1, y is equal to 2, but y or x should not be equal to 0. So I am assuming x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 2. Okay. Now, this is called as the left hand side. and this is called as the right hand side. So left hand side of the equal to and right hand side of the equal to. Left hand side of the equal to and right hand side of the equal to, and left hand side and the right hand side. Okay. Now, for the sake of writing for the sum, we will write LHS, which is left hand side, and RHS, which is the right hand side. So LHS, what is the left hand side? 3x square, which is 3 into, in place of x, what do we write? 2 square. So 3 into 4, and 4 threes are 12. And what is right hand side? You have 3x the whole square. So you have 3 multiplied by 2 the whole square. 3 into 2 gives you 6, 6 square, and that is 36. So do you see? The left hand side is equal to 12 and the right hand side is equal to 36. Hence, this is not true. Okay, this statement is not true. Let's proceed to the next one. Left hand side, it says minus y the raised to 4. So you have minus 2 raised to 4. So that would be minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2, right? 2 into 2, 4. 4 into 2, 8. 8 into 2, 16. 16. And how many minus? We have 4. Even number, so it's going to be positive. Let's move on to the next, the RHS side now. RHS is minus y raised to 4. In this case, what they are trying to say that the minus is here and it is y raised to 4. Okay. So when I do y raised to 4, so what is y? It is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, which is 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, that gives you a 16, but this time it's going to be a negative 16. Okay, I hope you are understanding this. This is going to be a negative 16. So it is only y raised to 4. It is not minus y the whole raised to 4. Okay, in this case it was whole raised to 4 and this is only y raised to 4. Let's move on to the next one. Here, you have the left hand side as 2 bracket x plus y, which is 2 bracket 2 plus 2, which is 2 bracket 4, and 2 fours are 8. And your right hand side, which is 2x plus y, which is 2 into 2 plus 2, which is 2 into 2, 4 plus 2, and 4 plus 2 gives me a 6. So in this case also, LHS is not equal to RHS. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, what will I do here? I'll write the 4 bracket. What is x square? Which is 2 square minus 1 plus 2 cube raised to 4, sorry, upon 4 plus 12. Now you have 4 bracket 2 square, 2 square is 4, 4 minus 1 plus 2 cube is 8, 8 upon 4 plus 12, which is 4 bracket 4 minus 1 gives you a 3 plus 4 ones are 4, 4 twos are 8, you have a 2 plus 12. Now there's no sign in between, meaning there's a multiplication sign. So 4 threes are 12 plus 2 plus 12. 12 plus 12, 24. 24 plus 2 gives you a 26. So your answer is 26. Let's move on to the next sum. You have 3y minus 5 upon 2 plus 2y cube minus 21 upon y, and when your y is equal to 3. So 3 into 3 minus 5 upon 2 plus 2 into 3 cube minus 21 upon 3. So 3 into 3, remember, BODMA is 9. 9 minus 5 upon 2 plus 2 into 3 into 3 into 3, 27, 3 cube minus 3 ones are 3 sevens are 21. So 9 minus 5, you have 4 upon 2 plus 27 into 2, 54 minus 7. 2 ones are 2 twos are 4. So you have 2 plus 54 minus 7. Remember, BODMAS, addition or subtraction, whichever comes first. In our case, we first have addition. So 2 plus 54 gives you a 56 minus 7. And if you see what is 56 minus 7, the answer is 49. Okay, so your answer is 49 in this case. Now let's go for the last question. I'll take some time to write it. Okay, so that's the question. It says show that when A is equal to minus 2 and B is equal to minus 1, then 5A square minus 9 bracket B minus A plus 2 upon B raised to 5 plus 7AB is equal to minus 5 upon minus 5A upon B minus 9A cube minus AB raised to 4 plus 9 upon B square minus A cube. Can I say in this we have an equal to sign in between, and on the left hand side we have some terms, and on the right hand side we have more terms. Okay, so left hand side we have an expression, and right hand side again we have an expression, right? And what do we have to show? We have to show that these two expressions are equal. Now to be able to do that, I will first take the left hand side, I will solve it separately. Then I will take the right hand side and I will solve it separately. And at the end, what will I get? I should get the same value. I should get the same answer. So if the answers are matching, then obviously those two are equal. Okay. Let us start off with the left hand side first. Now I will write, now, to just make it easy for you, I'm just highlighting the terms to avoid any sort of confusion. Let's start. 5 into a square. What is a square here? Minus 2 square. Minus, you have 9 bracket b minus a. What is b? Minus 1 minus a, which is minus 2. Plus 2 upon minus 1 raised to 5 plus 7 into a. What is a for us? Minus 2. What is b? Minus 1. Okay. Let me just highlight this. It is going to be 5 into 2 into 2, that gives you a 4, and then you just put the sign of the greater, minus into minus, that gives you a plus, right? So you have 4. Next you have minus, you keep the 9 here, you have minus 1, you have consecutive signs, so you will write plus and then 2. Next you have 2 upon 1 into 1 into 1 into 1 into 1, so that is like 5 ones. So that, and since it is odd, I will write minus. Plus 7 into 2 gives you 14, and 14 into 1 gives you a 14, and then you have same signs, so it's going to be a positive 14. Let's move forward. 5 into 4 gives you 20 minus 9 bracket. You have different signs, so you have to subtract. So when I subtract, what do I get? I get a 1. And sign of the greater number, which is positive, plus 1. Now, 2 divided by 1 gives you a 2, and then you have plus and minus, then that will give you a minus. Plus 14. Now, 20 minus 9 into 1, 9. Plus and minus gives you a minus, and then 2 plus 14. 20 minus 9. 20 minus 9 gives you 11 minus 2 plus 14. 11 minus 2 gives you a 9. 9 plus 14. And 9 plus 14 gives you a 23. Let us move on to the right hand side now. Just try to copy this. Hold on. Here you go. Now your A is -2, B is -1. Let's start. A is -2 and B is -1. So it will be -5 into -2 upon -1 minus 6 into A cube, which is -2 cube. Now minus bracket A into B. What is -2 into -1? The whole raised to 4 plus you have 9 upon B square, that is -1 square minus -2 cube. So -2 into -5 into -2. So 5 into 2 gives you a 10. Negative into negative, that will be a positive upon -1. Now 6 into -2 into -2 into -2. So 2 into 2 into 2 gives you 8. And since it's odd, so you're going to get a -8. Minus 2 into 1 gives you a 2. And minus into minus gives you a plus raised to 4. Plus 9 upon -1 square gives you 1 minus 2 into 2 into 2. So 2 into 2 into 2 gives you 8, right? And then you have odd numbers. So you're going to put a minus. So -8. 10 divided by 1 gives you a 10. Plus and minus, minus. Minus 6 8s gives you 48. Now again, plus and minus gives you minus. Now 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 into 2, 4. 4 into 2, 8. 8 into 2, 16. Plus 9 upon 1 minus and minus gives you plus 8. You have -10 plus 48 minus 16 plus 9 upon 9. 9 ones are 9 ones. -10 plus 48 minus 16 plus 1. Right? Now, let's move to this one. So you have same signs or you have different signs? You have different signs. So for different signs, what do? You subtract. So when you subtract, you get a 38 and you put the sign of the greater number, which is positive. Okay. Then -16 plus 1. Now 38 minus 16, that gives you a 22. So 22 plus 1, which is 23. See, your LHS is equal to RHS. And that is what we had to show. Your LHS is equal to RHS. So I will say LHS is equal to RHS and hence proved. Thank you.